Hi everyone. Today I am at Universal AI University at Karjat, Mumbai, and it's a very beautiful campus, very experiential learning. One of the best campus visits I have done till date. For a management school, for a management education, ultimately, eventually, it is the output which is students is always looking forward for. And for me, I mean, it's an opportunity to have a meeting with Professor G. Suman. Professor Suman is heading the CRC section of this beautiful university. It's one of the main pillars of this university. And when I say corporate resource center, it's much beyond than just placements, right? It's all about establishing all the threads, connecting all the threads which can, drive yourself towards the corporate world, right? And it's a feedback mechanism also for institution, for academic also. So we've been discussing on a couple of very interesting topics, experiential learning, and ma'am, thank you very much for giving us a precious time.
It's a pleasure.
It's been almost 10 years, ma'am, you are there with, with UBS.
Yes.
How has been your journey? I mean, not as a placement CRC person, but overall, how did you felt like these 10 years, how they have, probably contributed to you?
See, I'll tell you why I stuck to this organization for 10 years is that we are on three pillars, ethics, environment, and experiential. And when I say that ethics, I really feel very pleasure, or you can say the days are very fulfilling that whatever we are doing is ethical and all this thing. Right? And when we call experiential learning, you won't believe every day is like some or the other innovative ideas which comes in our mind. This system is so very open that we can put it across and then we can implement it also. So, your creativity, your innovation, there is a scope for it. So every day there is a new day, you look up to it and you implement that and it gives you a lot many fulfillment. So that's the one big reason you won't believe I don't even remember whether 10 years went by. And it was very fulfilling. Every day there is something more meaningful we are doing it for the organizations also and for the personal growth.
So ma'am, how do you feel, how is your collaborations? When you say CRC, Corporate Resource Center, we'll touch upon the placement later. What are the activities that we are doing as a part of CRC?
See, the greatest thing I'll tell you, what the learners want, that how whatever they are learning in the academic classrooms and all this, what are the practical application of it? So the best thing is that we are running the CEO series only. So we try to call all the managing director and the CEOs and CXOs to our campus, and they can listen to the first-hand information. They can have it from them. So corporate relation team members' responsibility is to run that also. And you won't believe, every year after year, 50 plus CXOs visit us. 50 plus, right? And then apart from that, we give them the community learning program. So whichever subjects you are learning it is compulsory for them to understand the practical aspect of those subjects. So for that, we call again one of the CXOs in that domain, and we run the community learning programs also. Then we are conducting a lot of symposiums for them. So panel discussion, really opens up the mind, what is happening in the industry, what is new, how they can end. This kinds of symposium, gives them the insight towards they can do the deep dive into the subjects also. So that also we conducted thrice in a year. And we are the one who are conducting the highest numbers of symposium in the campus. Yes. Every year after. So very soon on the 9th of December, we are having symposium on AI and BFSI, So how the tech is important in the BFSI sector. So who's who from the BFSI sector?
You have a concept whereby a student is exposed to a particular company or a SME, and they identify the problem areas, and then they try to get a solution in association with the mentors. Could you enlighten me on that?
Yes. So we call it as a CMAP, CMAP. Okay. It is a collaborative, multidisciplinary approach towards problem solving.
Oh.
Right. So, I'll tell you, the idea came, it is a very interesting thought process, that why these young MBA grads are going with the problem to the managers. Why not they go with the 5 different solution to the manager? Problems are everywhere. In all the organizations, you will face some or the other kind of a challenges, right? So instead of going to the challenge, with the challenge to the manager, we want to change the mindset of the students that go with the 5 solutions. Right. So that's the one big reason what we have started is this collaborative, multidisciplinary approach towards problem solving. So what we are doing is that we are approaching companies that in whichever domain you are having any kind of a challenge where our youngster could provide you the better solution, just give us that. You won't believe, writing the problem statement itself is a task. Right, so you have to do a proper research, understand, and then it is a multidisciplinary. So whenever any organization faces, suppose I'll give you the example. Suppose you are an organization who's facing attrition, and you would like to do a root cause analysis of the attrition, that why this attrition is way too high in my organization. And suppose if you give this kind of a project to any HR students, they'll only always think with the HR perspective, right? But what we are doing is we are giving you the students from multidiscipline. So for the same attrition problem, we will give you a student from marketing, we will give you a student from finance, operation and HR, all 4 domains, right? One. And then they will do primary research, secondary research, some in-house, questionnaires they will prepare and all this thing. In 25 days, they'll be stationed at your organization, do a root cause analysis, prepare a proper hygienic report and present it to you that these are the solution for your problem. Right? Because you just know the problem, that attrition. But why this attrition is happening? Which department is facing more attrition? Right? What is the reason behind attrition? Can we curb this attrition? What are the various ways to curb this attrition? Everything will be available in that report.
It's beautifully explained. Generally, when we, as a counselor, we talk to a student, they only have one thing in mind, please tell us about the placement.
Exactly.
But in between of this process, there are n number of developmental activities, skill orientation, which we are discussing, couple of them. I think this shall also come up as an interface. And what are the other aspects that you can look into selecting probably a destination?
Exactly.
Coming to the placement part, how do you visualize the placement scenario of the institution and the way forward?
See, placement scenario so far so good. Like we are, you can say, raising our bar, year on year, and in terms of, you wouldn't believe when I have started. The consultancy firms was, you can say, a distant dream for us. When I have started, company like, marquee companies like HUL, Nestle, Marico, and ITC and all were a distant dream for us. But today, you won't believe, company like Nestle is visiting our campus, Coca-Cola has visited our campus. Asian Paint has visited our campus. Very soon we will do Adani Immerse process, Tata Play process. So, and Big Four like Deloitte and all became the regular visitor of our campus and all this thing. So, let's see. We will see very soon. The days will come when McKinsey and all these companies will be here in our campus.
Very nice. Sure. I mean, I'm very happy, because it's all about the mix of companies. Right?
Exactly.
It shall not happen like largely the institution is a sales-driven institution, or so when you look into the brands, then certainly we can expect a balance of the.
In fact, all the banks, you wouldn't believe, you name it, and best of the banks are here in our campus. Banks like HDFC, IDBI, Federal Bank, and Axis Bank, IDFC First Bank. These all banks. In fact, very recently we have done the tie-up with the Development Bank of Singapore.
Wow.
So these all banks have started.
So even national, international, both the placements happening to us.
Yes.
And when I say about the statistics, right, can you just please help me in understanding the mean median placement scenario of our last batch and details on that one?
Correct. So last year our domestic highest was 22 lakh and our median has reached to the 8.9 lakh.
9 lakhs. That's nice.
And our hygiene is that we do not allow any student to go below 6, so that we are maintaining.
So you are negotiating with the companies?
Yeah, of course, yes.
I mean, off the record, we can't name any particular company over here, but we were discussing how main top line companies, top 20 companies,
Yes.
amongst some of them, institution very politely refused because their benchmarks were a little below the institution's benchmark.
Exactly.
So we are in a head-on position, in terms of negotiating for the sake of our students also.
Because we are giving a right talent. I always tell to the organization, if you do not find the talent in my learners, reject them. Because then it is my responsibility to raise the bar. It is my responsibility to, give them the better skill, give them the better knowledge, give them the better attitude. But you do not lower the CTC for them, right? So I will raise my bar in terms of knowledge, skills, and
very interesting question, and I think the last one, because we interact with a lot of students. Basic single line. Sir, get us a college which is 100% placement. Get us a college which is ROI. ROI is a word that generally they use. I don't know what kind of interpretation ROI has.
Okay.
What is your message to the students when they select a B school, just keeping the placement in mind? How do you visualize it, and what message do you want to give to the students?
See, I always believe that it's, as I told you, that it's been 15 years I'm into a corporate relation department. Your return of investment is your knowledge, your skills,
Yes.
and your attitude. These three things are in place. Believe me, sky will be the limit. Because these three things, if you'll carry it, you are a CEO material. You are just looking right now as a short-term perspective that, okay, my, placement. But placement is a very short-term goal of yours,
Yes.
Placement just opens the door for that, bigger dream of yours. If you have acquired those kind of a knowledge from the organization, like campus like us, Universal AI University, and skill which entire institute is providing it to you in terms of this CMAP, experiential learning, lots and lots of industrial visits are happening, case studies, competitions are happening. With all these things, if you have acquired those kind of skills, and if you have a right kind of an attitude, believe me, sky will be the limit. You are a CEO material then. So I always say that your ROI is to become a CEO. Don't just focus on the short-term goal. 100% placement, I will give it to you for sure. I will not leave any student behind. But don't just look at it that, okay, am I getting 2 lakh lesser than this guy?
And how do
1
you
lakh
justify it? I mean, there are so many
more
components.
than,
I mean, you see, you're looking at a mainstream like a brand like a Asian Paints.
Exactly.
Or probably you're looking at a real estate company. A real estate company may offer you a better package.
Exactly.
But what is about the sustainability of your career?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What is about the culture, the ecosystem, the learnability of your career?
You won't believe, since you said Asian Paints, see Asian Paint, whatever amount of CTC they are giving, exactly the same, more than that amount, they can learn it every month as an incentive.
Yeah.
Which is the student role, which is nowhere in the paper mentioned.
Just imagine working in Asian Paints kind of a company, you are learning, and then scaling yourself from Asian Paint to another company.
Exactly.
What kind of trajectory and the growth you may expect?
Exactly.
So very nicely, ma'am. It's very beautiful understanding. I mean, even I have got a couple of nice motivations for me. Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure, and it's my passion lies with the corporate relation department. My passion is towards, you can say towards this department and all. So I try and give my 200% over here.
Yes.
Every year after year.
Beautiful. And please, for the students also, I may say, please evaluate your personality, your strengths, your weakness. Just don't look for a B school. First, do your SWOT analysis. Write your SOP. As I always say, be objective. What do you want to achieve from an MBA program? I think you can do justice to your education.
You won't believe we are the only one in the entire nation who's running a course like Management of Self.
Management of Self.
Management of Self. course like management of self, where we are, beginning with this SWOT analysis, how you could do a, what is a basic communication, what should be your personality, what kind of attire you have to wear it, lot of nuances which can help them out throughout their lifetime.
Yeah.
These are the life skills, I always tell them. So through this management of skills, we are teaching them that also, and plus the skill development department. So, your basic communication and your own branding, all these things, negotiation skills, all these things are a part of a curriculum in the management of self. Who will teach you all this?
See, when you say management, you should look forward backward into our Vedas and the way management was taught from that point of time. It is about self-grooming, self-enlightenment, self-contemplation.
Correct.
And once you are contemplated, then definitely you can sell, or probably you can make people more enlightened and connected with your cause.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. So nice of you.
Pleasure.
Pleasure, ma'am.